All right, pardon my appearance, but I just had the weirdest dream this morning, and I just had to tell somebody because this dream is absolutely ridiculous. Have you ever had a dream where it throws you for a plot twist, and even you wake up and you be like, oh, I wasn't expecting the ending to that dream? This was like that, but 1,000 times more ridiculous, and I feel like it would be a really good quick movie. So in this dream, it was Jenna Ortega. I think it's because I saw the commercial for like The Death of a Unicorn, but anyway. The vampire from Goosebumps Vampire Breath, a knockoff Morticia Addams, the grandmother from Halloween Town, and Alfred the butler from Batman. And in this dream, it was like these vampires, and the townspeople, was like, oh, we think these are vampires. And the guy that's obviously dressed up as a vampire, he's like, no, I'm not a vampire. You guys are crazy. I'm not a vampire, even though he has like the fangs and like the whole entire like cape and all that stuff and the medallion. But anyway, and then the Morticia Addams knockoff, I don't know where she came from. I don't know. Maybe it was like a bad Sheen ad, but she had fangs and everything too. And she's like, no, I'm not a vampire. I don't know what you're talking. I can't do the accent. If I sound terrible making the accents, I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm just trying to do it like the dream, and I can't. But anyway, Jenna Ortega was hired to help with the vampires and help look out for the vampires. And the vampires had like a son and all that type of stuff that was like, I don't know, like 20 something, but he was like 200 years old. But anyway, and the grandmother from Halloween Town and Alfred the butler, I can't remember the grandmother's name. Oh my gosh. But anyway, they were trying to warn Jenna Ortega, and they're like, everyone who works for them like goes missing, and everyone says that they're vampires and blase blaza and all this type of stuff. And Jenna Ortega was like, oh no. But I don't think, maybe they say they're not vampires, so I don't think they're vampires. But anyway, they lived in this big fancy castle, and people would line up from all over to come see the castle. And it was this big historical home, so people would go in there and check out the home. And it was like this long corridor that was like in a basement. It was like this big earthen tunnel, something that you would see like in like an old movie, like Indiana Jones type, with like the torches on the walls, and there's like a big light at the end of the tunnel, but you can't see what's around the corner. And there was like a red velvet rope blocking that off, and they said no one was allowed down there. So Jenna Ortega, she's working for the vampire. She's being like, taking care of their house and everything else like that. And one day she goes missing. So then all the townspeople are like, oh my gosh, it was the vampires. And the vampires are like, no, we can't find her either, guys. Help us try and find them. And everyone's like, no, we know that you took them, blah, 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 blah. So then they go to the grandmother's of Halloween Town's house, and they're looking, be like, oh, have you seen Jenna Ortega? And she's all like, no, and I won't even tell you where she is, even if I didn't know where she is, because you're not going to harm another person. We know you're vampires, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, we're not vampires. You guys are crazy. Okay, we'll ask someone else. So then they go to Alfred from the butler from Batman, Alfred Pennyworth, and they're like, hey, have you seen Jenna Ortega? And he was all like, no, what have you done with her? Like, where is she? But not like Batman, though. Not like where is she? Not like that. And they're like, oh no, this is a bad look for us. We got to find her. What happened to her? So everyone's going crazy. Everyone's trying to look for her. And then it's like showing the vampires crying outside of a cathedral because they can't get in. And everyone's like, aha, see, we knew that they were vampires. They can't get in. And they're like, we're not vampires. You guys, you don't know what you guys are talking about. You guys are whack. Blah, 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 blah. And then Jenna Ortega comes out of the tunnel, and everyone's like, oh, she's there. She's here. Oh my gosh. She's not harmed. What happened to her? And then she's like, little did you guys know that I'm an evil vampire, and I have a vampire baby with the son of the vampires, and I've been charging people $10 to come look at my vampire baby, and I'm the evil one here. And that's what the tunnel was for. She wanted a place to hide her vampire baby, and she was charging people $10 to come see her vampire baby, but the vampire baby was actually Batboy from Weekly World News. I don't know if you guys are probably too young. You guys probably don't even know what I'm talking about, but that was my obsession. But anyway, so she's charging people $10 to come look at Batboy. And then the vampire son was the lead singer of Fall Out Boy. So he was the vampire, and he's just like, don't you tell anyone about vampire baby. And it was just like such a plot twist. And then I woke up and I was like, wow, Jenna Ortega was the evil vampire all along. And the grandmother of Halloween Town, she was all like, why? And there was dramatic music playing in the background. And then she was like, $10 is $10. And it was the weirdest effing dream. And when I woke up, I was like, I was not expecting that ending. And now that I said it out loud, it is absolutely ridiculous. But I just had to share that. Okay, bye.